That's a good shot. Good morning, Facebook. Welcome to the Dr. Sam Show. I am your host, Dr. Sam. We got a great show for you today. We're talking about if love costs, should you marry for money? I'm going to break that down, man. We're going to rock and roll. I know I'm going to have a lot of input on that. And if I have time later on, I'm going to also do should men be turned off by independent women? I posed that question on Facebook last week, and it's kind of like the follow-up. And so we're going to be talking about that if I have time. If not, I get it next week. And also the mindset of a billionaire. Today's billionaire, we got Jeff Bezos of Amazon, or the largest stockholder in Amazon. But Jeff worth a lot of money. A lot of money. You worth a lot of money. And also Dr. Sam, Secret Garden Tip of the Week. And so we're gonna have an exciting show. It's just me in the house today, me and Mr. D. I'm gonna be ready to rock and roll here in a minute. We about to go on the air live, and we're gonna get it rolling and popping, as they might say. So let me see. So we're ready. Tune in. Let me see. Can I see myself here? I don't see myself live. Actually, I'm on the Dr. Sam page.
I gotta refresh. Go to grassoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped.
Oh, live video.
No, you already live.
Oh, that's right. Nope. Nope. Am I mess this up? I thought it should be right here.
Try signing out. Log it back in. Maybe pop up.
Maybe it's time to take a fresh look at everything we thought we knew about landing a great job. For instance, what if phenomenal careers start at the middle school science fair instead of at the job fair?
Mr.
If being
Randy
the captain
Watson.
of a robotics team means just as much
Chance
in
get
college
it from
application
Mr.
as
Randy
being captain of the football
Watson.
team. Knowing the quadratic formula is every bit as important as knowing the right people. Well, the fact is, the jobs of the future will be heavily geared towards science, technology, engineering, and
Oh, here
math.
it is.
In other words, the future is STEM. More opportunities,
There we go.
better pay. And the road to these great jobs starts as early as middle school. So if you're a student, talk to your school counselor about STEM. If you're a parent,
All
talk to
right.
your kids. Because the job you'll get in the future
Give it about 40 seconds.
depends on what you do today.
4 seconds.
This message from America's Navy.
Dr. Sam is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam is ready to help you gain perspective
keep my
on
stomach
life,
off the table,
relationships,
you know,
finances,
kinda
spirituality,
standing
and so
back
much
a little
more.
bit, you
Go
know.
to the
Put your stomach on the table.
brought
That's
to you by
not kosher.
McDonald's. Empowering purpose for life.
The following broadcast is a paid program. The hosts are solely responsible for its content, and the opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Cumulus Broadcasting.
That dude, is that me on there?
This is the Dr. Sam Show, featuring your host, Dr. Sam, bringing you prescriptions for your heart, relationships, money, mind, and soul. Now, here's Dr. Sam.
Hey, could you hand me a pen over there?
Your pen?
Yeah. All right. Good morning, America, and good morning, world, and welcome to the Dr. Sam Show, where I am your host, confidant, and best friend, your media BFF in full effect, giving you prescriptions for your heart, relationship, mind, and soul. Man, I'm excited about this show today. I'm telling you, we got a great show today. Well, it's just me in the house today with my extraordinary engineer producer, me and Mr. D. And we're bringing the show today talking about if love costs, should you marry for money? Yep, I said it. If love costs, should you marry for money? And also, if I get a chance to get to it later on, we're going to talk about should men be turned off by independent women? And that was a question I posed to Facebook last week. Got a lot of response. So I thought I might bring up part 2 to that question. If I get to it, if not, I'll do it next week. But today we talking about if love costs. Should you marry for money? I'm going to probably do the defense and the prosecution on this one. So we're going to be ready. But in order to check out the Dr. Sam Show, go to our website, www.thedrsamshow.us, which is us, you, us, and more us. And also check me out on the Facebook Live. That's me. We on Facebook Live already, ready to rock and roll. I'm in the building here. I was trying to keep my stomach off the table here for those of y'all that watching my Facebook Live. Also, check me out on, what else I want you to check me out on? In the Toledo Journal every week, every Wednesday under the Ask Dr. Sam column, where I'm giving you advice for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. Also, check me out on the TCT network every Saturday. Check your local listings. And also, guess what? We are starting July the 31st. Start back production of taping the Dr. Sam television show. I'm excited about that. I got some great guests ready to roll on that show, man. We're going to have a ball. I like doing the television thing. Also, really have some fun on that. So we're going to be doing that. Production goes on July the 31st. We're going to be doing that. And also, starting tomorrow at 12 noon, all these shows that I'm doing now will be the radio where you can see it. Facebook Live will be on my YouTube channel, the Dr. Sam Show. You can check it out there also, and you can see this show here and also on the Audio Boom podcast. It'll be up on the podcast by Tuesday at 12. It'll be up on YouTube, the Dr. Sam YouTube channel tomorrow by 12 noon. We're going to start posting all of these shows on YouTube. But if you want to go see for now all the shows that I have, you can go to Audio Boom / the Dr. Sam Show or put in the search Dr. Sam, and you can see all the way back to March 8th in 2015 when I started the first show. And I've had many shows of many subjects. Some of them I laugh. I still listen to these shows because they're so funny and so informative. So I always go back and listen to them at least once a day. I pick a show. Some of them I done listened to 3 or 4 times because I just like the show. Well, like I said, for those of you that are tuning in Facebook Live and also live radio, I want to say good morning, family. You know, from the Dr. Sam Show. It is just me in the house today because I want to do some one-on-one with you because I'm probably going to break a lot of hearts today talking about love and money because, you know, people get a little beside themselves because some people don't want to put love and money together. But I told Mr. D, you can't even preach the word if you can't put money and love together. They got to go together like peanut butter and jelly, like Sonny and Cher, like salt and pepper. Gotta have some love with some money, especially if you a man. If you ain't got no money with your love, you're not gonna have love that long. But I'm gonna get to that here in a minute. But what we about to do is we about to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm gonna do Mindset of a Billionaire. We got our featured billionaire today, Mr. Jeff Bezos, the largest stockholder in Amazon. And when I tell you a brother is rich, that man is rich. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Jeff. And then we're going to get right in the topic I'm going to dig in today. And if you want to have a comment, a question, or a concern, the number is 866-720-1470. And also, I will be dialoguing here with you right here on my tablet I have where, you know, we can chat about this great topic. So we're about to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we're going to talk about our billionaire of the week, Mr. Jeff Bezos. This is the Dr. Sam Show, and we'll be right back. Boy, that's some jamming music.
Are you saving for a
Huh?
It is a nice thing.
That's some jamming music.
Somebody local make that?
Yep. A buddy of mine, I think he still used to make tracks for the NFL.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Side money from every paycheck and put it right into savings.
You still?
What's up, Gina?
You still
Gina
cool?
Black, Michelle, Tyree, Carl, Grace, Sam.
You still talk to him, communicate with him? From time
No,
to
I
time?
need to call him though. I was just thinking about him today because I need to drop I need to drop something in the CD Baby, and I think I have it, but I just need to ask him a question about it.
For more tips on how to save more of your money and reach your financial goals.
Tyree, you funny. You remember when I told y'all about the 3-hand back position? You want to start some stuff. We talk about money and love. Maybe I'll talk about that later in the show.
Service message from the National Foundation for Credit Counseling.
Dr. Sam is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam
That 3-hand back position ain't no joke.
relationships, finances,
Mr. D done used that so many times. I should call it the D position now.
Brought to you by McDonald's, empowering purpose for life.
With 4K today, your chance to win $1,000 4 times each weekday begins Thursday.
Let me see. Let me do this.
I keep thanking my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me out to the pond, for reading me books, for taking
I had the doctor when I broke my foot in ballet rehearsal, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone. And now, as a grown-up,
Tyree said, ask me about the women I used to meet where I put my hand at on their back. Oh, she was funny. Oh, man.
Roles change without us noticing.
My hair look good on there, though.
We help you help.
Y'all, I'm backing up a little bit. I'm watching myself because I don't want my stomach on the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on my workout thing.
Remember, visit AARP.
See, Tyree, you already talking about if a man don't have any money, how he gonna take care of you?
Public service announcement brought to you
Where your money at? Where your money at?
Trying to bring back Beretta, but this computer
What?
going too slow.
Yeah, you gotta bring back Beretta, man. What's up with the cumulus brass?
Yeah, I tell you. Hold on.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. Relive baseball's greatest moments, connect with national
Almost.
pastime, and honor the
Reese said her money in the bank. She funny.
I'm more resourceful than
She is funny.
You can still make an impression. My video
All right,
calls
man.
are still
I'm
game
ready to
changers.
roll.
my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to the Toledo, it helps fund job placement and training for people right
Hey,
now.
Mrs. Jones later on.
It's a second chance.
And will give someone
She got a thing going on.
chance to good
I
work.
ever tell you, I used to love that song when I was little, but I didn't know it was about adultery until I got older.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. He said, we got a thing going on. What this brother talking about?
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
All right, for Facebook locker, bro. And we're back. For those of you just tuning in, I am your friend, Dr. Sam, and you're listening to the Dr. Sam Show. We got a great show for you today, man. It's just me and you loving each other today. Or I like to say loving on each other, family. Just me in the house. But I got my extraordinary engineer, DJ, road manager, producer, and the brother that might try to steal my copyrights off my song, Mr. T in the building. We got a great show today talking about if love costs. Should you marry for money? I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of broken hearts because I'm going to break it down today. A matter of fact, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't marry for money and why you should. And you decide which side you on. I kind of know what side I'm on. So we talking about that today. And if I have time later in the show, we're going to be talking about should men be turned off by independent women. And that was just a question I asked earlier last week on Facebook. And I got a great response. So I thought I'd bring it here today, too, and check it out. So we're going to do that. So like I said, it's just us in the house. And what we're going to start out with before we get to our main topic is our billionaire mindset of a billionaire. Our featured billionaire of the week is Mr. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Preston Benzos was born January 12, 1964. He is an American entrepreneur who played a key role in the growth of e-commerce. As the founder and chief executive officer of Amazon.com, an online merchant in books and later a wide variety of products, under his guidance, Amazon has become the largest online retailer in the world. Matter of fact, just in case some of y'all are asking, Jeff currently is worth $145 billion. And I did say billion with a B. Some people don't even have $145 in their pocket today. Is that you, Mr. D? No, I'm just. While still in high school, Jeff developed the Dream Institute, a center that promoted creative thinking in young students. After graduating in 1986, summa cum laude, that brother getting good grades, from Princeton University with degrees in electrical engineering and computer science, he undertook a series of jobs before joining the New York investment bank D.E. Shaw and Company in 1990. Soon named senior vice president, the firm's youngest, Benzos was in charge of examining the investment possibilities of the internet and its enormous potential. Web usage was growing by more than 2,000% a year that sparked his entrepreneurial imagination. In 1994, he quit D.E. Shaw and moved to Seattle, Washington to open a virtual bookstore working out of his garage with a handful of employees. Jeff began developing the software for the site, named after the South American river, Amazon. Sold his first book in July of 1995. Amazon quickly became the leader in e-commerce. Open 24 hours a day, the site was user-friendly, encouraging browsers to post their own reviews on books, offering discount, personalized recommendations, and search for all out-of-print books. In June of 1998, it began selling CDs, and later that year, it added videos. In 1999, Jeff added auctions to the site and invested in other virtual stores. The success of Amazon encouraged other retailers, including major book chains, to establish online stores. As more companies battled for internet dollars, Jeff saw the need to diversify. And by 2005, Amazon offered a vast array of products, including consumer electronics, apparel, hardware. Amazon diversified even further in 2006 by introducing Amazon Web, enabling customers to purchase downloads, reads, and store a vast selection of books on demand. Amazon announced in 2010 that sales of Kindle books had surpassed those of hardcover books. That same year, Amazon moved into making its first own television shows and movie with its Amazon Studios division. Amazon's yearly net sales increased from $510,000 in 1995 to some $600 million in 1998 and more than $19.1 billion in 2008 and almost $136 billion in 2016. So that's our billionaire for the day, Mr. Jeff Bezos, the largest stockholder in Amazon. And like I said before, you don't give up on your dream. Keep moving in the direction you want to go to. Jeff had dropped out. You know, a lot of those guys back then dropped out in the mid and early 90s and moved to Seattle. Bill Gates was out there. He was already out there. Paul Allen was out there. Just a bevy of brothers that were starting the tech game. And so Jeff is one of them. And now he at the present time, he is the richest man in the world at $145.1 billion. Bill Gates is second with $95 billion. I guess Bill going a little broke. So that's our billionaire of the week, Mr. Jeff Bezos, and that's our billionaire mindset for the day. Well, we're going to take a quick 30-second commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to dive directly into if love's cost, should you marry for money? I know what some of y'all are saying. I'm going to get all of y'all today. This is going to be good. We'll be right back. This is the Dr. Sam Show.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe, effective,
Billion.
and money-saving. Just like
Billion, 145 billion.
I forgot it was a bookstore.
Same color or shape as their brand name equivalents. They have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit FDA.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
The 2018 Toledo
I'm gonna
Jeep
do
Fest is
here.
back. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 10th, 11th, and 12th in downtown Toledo. The free event will include a parade, historic Jeep car show, and live entertainment. And you can enter this year's raffle for a chance to win a 24-month lease on a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport 4-door and various other Jeep upgrades. Tickets are just $25 for a single entry, $50 for 3, and $100 for 10. Enter to win now at talkradio107.com and click on the Toledo Jeep Fest link.
Dr. Sam Millett is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam is ready to help you gain perspective on life, relationships, finances, spirituality, and much more. Tune into 100.7 every Sunday from 11 to 1 across McDonald's, empowering purpose for life.
Listen to Talk Radio 100.7 anywhere. Download the app now. Listen on all your
If it was closed, I opened it up.
Your smartphone, PC, tablet, just go to the website, talkradio107.com, and download the app now.
Tyree, you're going to have to give up some of that money. Take it out of the bank. All right, before Facebook come back in. And we're back. For those of you that are just tuning in, you're talking to your man, Dr. Sam, and you're listening to the Dr. Sam Show. We are also Facebook Live. That is me right there with the peace sign up on the Facebook Live thing. That's Mr. D. He feel like he want to stay alive today. And I guess some people going to want to be alive. We talk about this money. So, and hello, Miss Johnson. What's up, good chick? Miss Simmons. Welcome to the show. And Tyree, you're going to have to pull your money out the bank. Miss Wallace, Miss Robinson, welcome to the show. Y'all see Tyree on there. She talking about she going to hold on to her money and spend the man's. But that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Today's topic, we're talking about if love costs, should you marry for money? Well, let me start off. I need to open this like a defense attorney. One of the things that you will have that go hand in hand is love and money. But let me say this by premising that relationship. Money has always had a bad reputation for the most part. If you know, the people say the love of money is bad. It's the love of money, not money itself, the love of money. When you mix love and money together, money is always getting the bad rep, but everybody seems to always be chasing it. Everybody always need it. And for every man that is born on the planet, he's know that if there's no money, there's no love. He's not going to get no love if he don't have no money. First for himself, before he even consider being in a relationship, every man knows he needs some type of money in order to function and make it on this earth himself. And so when you have money and love, a lot of people know that you need money. You know, we do it to pay bills, to pay debt. But for some reason, when you say money and love together, people feel ashamed, for the most part, to say, yeah, I do consider people when I'm talking about money. Now, mind you, I'm gonna talk about this from both sides. I'm gonna give both sides a defense, a case. I'm gonna give both sides. And I'm talking about the side first when I'm talking about why you should need money. Actually, I brought a couple of stats too to throw in here with my own preference on this side, and said that why should you have money? Man, let me tell you something. When you evaluate who you want to be in your life, if you're not taking money under some type of consideration, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because nobody gets up today and say, you know what? I think I'm going to go find me somebody broke to be in a relationship with today. I'm thinking I'm going to find a man who don't have no job, no place, no car, no anything. And I just think I'm going to be in a relationship with him today. No man, and ladies, men are not as caught up in the money thing with women. Unless he tried to get over, he has some type of agenda, he would be. But most men, the average man, is not too pressed about how much money the woman makes. What he wants to see is the contribution. Is she making an effort to do something in her own life and in their life as a whole, as a couple? But money has gotten a bad rap when it comes to love. Like I said, it comes to everything else. But let me tell you this, and I'm gonna read off some of the stuff I got in my notes and some of the stuff I just know is that money, you better consider money when you enter in any type of love relationship. And let's assume, for sake of conversation, I'm talking about people that's planning on getting married or getting together, period. You better consider that person and what type of money on some level they have. Because in this country and in the world, you can't survive unless you have some level of money. It's just like when we choose women we want to be with, we look at the looks first. Because no dude see a woman walking down the street and say, you know, man, I really love her personality. That's just wonderful. We not doing that. We can't see personality. What we do is see your looks. So if men are looking at the looks first and this is acceptable in society, why wouldn't a woman look at how much money the man is making, vice versa? I think that's fair to consider if you're gonna come together with a man and you're gonna bring two destinies together, you're gonna bring two things, opportunities together, you're gonna bring goals and dreams. I think it makes sense to evaluate, is there a possibility that we can get together and go this way? And going that way might mean is we might want to buy a house. It's gonna cost, this might cost $100,000. We're gonna do this, it might cost this much money. Anytime that you are considering going in some type of direction with somebody, money have better be a consideration. And mind you, for those that just tuning in, Nikki and Toledo, Ohio, Lucas, what's up? And Tyree said, my man is interested in my ability to contribute. Yeah, he should be. He should be very interested. When two people come together for a life walk, a life destiny together, money has to be in an equation because you're going somewhere. Whether you having kids together, like I said, buying a house, buying a car, going on vacation, paying bills, getting rid of debt, whatever you're doing, money is involved in it somewhere. So for ladies, I'm gonna do like I said a minute ago, for ladies, you should always on some level be considering how much money this man is making. Don't feel bad about it. It's just real life, because any man that loves you, he's going to want to take care of you. And if he can't take care of you financially, because he's going to have to take care, I get into the emotional and all when I do the other side, the emotional, the love and all of that, he's going to have to take care of that. But for a man, that financial piece is huge for us, because if we can't provide and protect, it's hard for us to do anything else. I'm talking about real men. I'm talking about men that understand life and stuff. It's hard for a man to focus if he can't provide and protect his woman. I'm telling you ladies that. So if you have a man that is not interested in money or interested in going to the next level, and I'm not talking, I don't want you to take this out of context. I'm not talking about the greedy J.R. Ewing type of man that do anything to get money. What I'm talking about is a man that's going to establish some type of stability in your life and you guys' life together with money. Because let me tell you something. It's one thing to owe debt and have money versus owe debt and have no money. It's one thing to be poor and it's another thing to be broke. Broke is something that's temporary. You say, shoot, I don't have no money on Thursday, but I have money on Friday. When you poor, you don't have no money on Thursday and you ain't got no money on Friday. So ladies, I would admonish you to consider some type of income level now. With a man, any man, like I said, any man that is interested in your well-being, he's going to have that in mind anyway. Matter of fact, a man that truly loves you won't even put you in a predicament where he don't have at least 50% of what he's establishing already in play. And I'm telling you this from a man. Now, I understand the love part. And like I said, I'm going to cover that. But, you know, why you should marry for money and why you should consider money. It's just like I said earlier. When a man gets with a woman, the first thing he looking at is looks. I don't care what you say. Even the brothers that's praying about it, he's still looking at the looks. Even the ones that his mama told him to check out, he looking at the looks. I'm talking about even the ones that's at church, at school, at the playground. The man is always checking the looks out first because he can't see anything else about you past the looks until he get to know you. So I want you to understand this. So when a man approaches you, it is nothing wrong with looking at how much money he makes, because how much money he makes don't mean you some type of gold digger. That's just a wise investment. You know, if you're trying to buy a $200,000 house and you have a man that make $20,000 a year, you tell me how you going to pull that off. If you guys trying to buy a vacation home, whatever you trying to do, Money is involved in everything we do, and society as a whole has made us feel bad about it when we bring it up dealing with love. I mean, in some circles, whether it's in relationships or even church, if you act like you want some money more than the norm, people have a fit knowing they want the same amount of money. I just told you this man, Jeff Bezos over Amazon, or Amazon's biggest stockholder, Jeff is worth $145 billion right now, number one in the world. Second to him is Bill Gates at 95. That's $50 billion left. You think a woman ain't looking at Jeff and he's married and stuff like he, and not knowing, oh, Jeff can take care of me? What man wouldn't want that feeling to know he could take care of anything at any time, and first with himself and then with his family? So the reason a man should have some type of stake in the game of money, because it makes him feel secure. It gives him a sense of stability. It helps him know that he can protect and provide for his woman. Now, for those of you women, and I'm going to flip it over, ladies, and I'm gonna deal with the men about what they should do with the ladies. For those of you that say, I need to be independent with the money, hold on, I'm going to sit you over to the side for a minute. Because any real partnership in a relationship, everything comes together. Money, ideas, goals, dreams, all of that stuff. You have to work as a team. And so with money, like I'm telling you, lady, money helps stabilize a man, make him feel like he doing something. Matter of fact, I always encourage people when they go important meetings or interviews or whatever it is, take as much cash as you can and stick it in your pocket. Because when we got money in our pocket, our walk is different. Our strive is different. We going, staying alive. We doing that John Travolta in 1977, man. We doing that strive when we got that money in our pocket. And you know the number one reason of divorce, we already know, is because of money. So don't tell me money is not a key. Let me tell you something from the man, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to stay on this side. I don't care how much loving we got. I don't care how googly-eyed we are. I don't care how much we sit, hold hands, we quote poetry to each other all day. Eventually, we going to be hungry. And don't no man want his woman out there being hungry, so he can't be broke. He got to have money coming in somewhere. So from a man's perspective, lady, there's always going to be an element of the money to himself first. And then a man won't necessarily always equate money to the woman, to you. Will equate to the effort of what you're trying to do with your life. Because let me tell you something, a woman can get a good man and she could be working on fries at McDonald's, which, by the way, is a sponsor and a partnership of the Dr. Sam Show. You could be working at McDonald's, man, be fine. A man is still holler at you. Ain't no women hollering at brothers on fries in the back. Matter of fact, most women, if the dude say something to her, she'll feel insulted. So, but what you don't know is that man is building something. He's working there because he's trying to get something. Because money is important to us men, and we got to have it situated. So, from the man's perspective, again, when you get in love, when you have somebody, if you a progressive man, if you going about your business, you doing life, you want a woman that's somewhere in that vicinity. She don't have to have as much money as you, but she do have to have something that says, I want us to, that she, first of all, let me rephrase that. She wants to have something better about herself, and then she wants us to have something better together, because we have to work as a team. So money is a must. It's just like love, money, and marriage go together like divorce and sadness. People get divorced over money because money is a pivotal thing. So if love costs, and let me give you some of the costs of being in love. Can I break it down for Mr. D? Just love costs. When we want to have some electric in the house, we want to have some gas, want to have some food, it costs. When we want to have clothes to wear because we want to look at each other and we both looking so fine to each other, she looking good, you looking good, it costs. When you looking at each other and the man feeling good about himself, he want to give her an extra 2 or 3 kisses because he got a raise. You know why? Because it costs. It costs to be in a relationship and to handle your business the way it needs to be handled. That's just the way it is. What's going on, Tina? And so that's very prevalent. So money is very prevalent in a relationship. And for those of you that don't think it is, I don't know what to tell you, but I am going to defend you in a little bit. But I'm sticking with the people with the money. Money should be involved and is going to be involved. And let me tell you something. I'm going to deal with this because good chick pity shouldn't be part of being choosing somebody. Well, let me ask you this. When we choose people, do we choose on looks? Men choose on looks a lot first. A lot of women are less on looks and they more want a man with substance. So isn't part of that substance being financially stable somewhere? Or at least he working on a vision or working on a dream. Now, when I say choosing for money, I'm not talking about the gold digger thing. I'm not talking, we throw that word around real loosely that somebody's a gold digger. But isn't it an investment? Aren't you still, because let me tell you something. As much as you don't want to put on money, my emotional investment, my intellectual investment, my physical investment in you might not pay off because I didn't put enough emphasis on it. I didn't dig deep enough to find out where you were with that. And like I said, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I'm dealing with the money. Well, let me read off a couple of things about this money. What's up, Z? Money doesn't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in a Ferrari. Obviously, money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure can make life more fun. I totally agree with that. It's better to go through pain or go through pain when you got some financial security than when you homeless. It's a big difference. Men like to have money. I mentioned that already. And one of the things that is key when you evaluating somebody for a relationship, money is just part of doing business together. That's why marriage is a legal contract. It's a heart contract. It's a mental contract. It's a physical contract. It's a sexual contract. It's a contract that embraces all the things. It's a spiritual contract. And we have been made to believe that anytime you can say all of those, but don't say financial. If you say financial, people going to look at you the wrong way and think you some type you trying to get over. But that's not the case. It makes sense to evaluate somebody's financial situation when you get into it. Now, let me say this. If you get into a relationship with somebody that say don't have the finances, let me say that. They not established yet. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that if you get in a relationship with somebody like that, wouldn't you want them to at least have a drive to be trying to get somewhere further in their life? You're not going to marry anybody that does not have any money and they have no drive and you're going to say, I'm just going to work that out. What are you going to work out? You're going to be so busy trying to decide and pick striving that you're going to have problems with it. Let me look at this. Let me see. Nikki said after marriage and coming into myself is when I noticed and acknowledged just what kind of mindset and finances I was in. Needed to ensure our position and produce and help him not feel pressure to conform out of if God's wills for me as a woman, wife, and mother. I get that. Crystal Goodchick said the title of Marrying for Money has a different ring to it. Yes, everyone should be with someone that has something going for themselves. And I totally agree with that. And like I said, love costs. Love costs. Love costs in the business of the heart, the mind, and the finances. So should you marry for money? Yes, money is part of that marriage decision. It just is. I know we want to twist it up. I know it don't sound right, but it is. There's not one person that I know of personally. I ain't saying there's not maybe two in the world. This does not take consideration under where somebody is financially, what they have or do not have. And ladies, I know you have to because men, we keep in score of our own stuff. In the world of manhood, the man with the biggest roars, the ones that we keep score. That's just how men work. Whether you think we are, whether you want to acknowledge that we do or don't, Men keep score, and score for us is money and stuff. That's just a man thing. So when it costs for us to do love, most of the time, let me even go this far. When we evaluating a woman or somebody to be with, even if they don't have money and she got something going for herself, we still looking for the fact that is this somebody I could build something with. That's what we look at, real tough. If this is a woman I can build something with, because we know no matter how fine a woman is, eventually you're going to get used to looking at her. That don't mean a Rolls Royce or a Bentley is not still a Rolls Royce or Bentley, but once you get done used to driving it, it becomes your norm. So it's the same with women with men. Once you get used to that man, it becomes your norm, so he better have something in the mix, something going on, something going further, something going straight. So, yes, I'm on the side. The first half of this show, I said I was going to be for the ones that should be marrying with money in mind. Should you marry with money in mind? And I say yes. And mind you, the second half, after the top of the hour, I'm going to defend the other way and why you should not marry for money. So in this first half hour, 45 minutes I'm talking about why you should marry and have money in it, especially if you want anything together, you want to do anything together. And any man that cares anything about you, money is going to be in the blueprint. That's just where it is. It's going to be in the blueprint. Now, ladies, I know you might not say, well, I necessarily don't have to marry him if he financially stable or not. But on the back end, you really do want him to be financially stable. That's why you want him to have something going on. That's too tied to money. It's like getting a college degree. College degrees are not, you don't make money from college degrees the minute you graduate. College degrees are what they call progressive money, meaning the further you get away from the degree in terms of time, the more money you'll start making. So that means if you graduate this year, in 2 years, you will be making more money. In 4 years, you'll be making more money. 6 years, you'll be making more money. That's how college degree income works, is progressive income. Well, that's the same thing with a man. If you got a man that is progressively making himself better or putting himself in a better position, that is still betting on him financially that he could put you in a better position. So does love cost? Yes. Should you have money in mind? Yes. Why? Because there are things in this world, things you need, things you cannot get without it, moves you cannot make without it. And you better have somebody have some sense with it, because you could have two people who can make a lot of money and still blow it. But where those other characteristics come in, what we're going to talk about in the second half, where the love, the intelligence, the ambition, and all those other characteristics that you personally like in somebody comes into play. And when you have somebody that's loaded with characteristics that are positive, that progressive, even if they don't have money at that time, eventually they're going to get to it, because they got a dream in mind, they got a goal in mind, they got a purpose in mind. But for the sake of that title I have up there, it said, if love costs, should you marry for money? And for the first half of the show, I'm saying yes, you have got to have money as part of the blueprint. Period. However you look at it. Whether it's you want a man to make $100,000 a month, or he got to make $5,000 a week, or whatever it is, money is part of that blueprint. And like I said, lady, for any of you that looking for waiting for the man of your dreams to come by, if he don't have that in his blueprint for you, in himself, you need to leave that alone and let that pass on. Just leave that alone and let it pass on. What's going on, Sue? Miss Spain, how are you? You need to let that pass on. The blueprint for money and love for a man goes hand in hand. Men, for ladies, is more of an option. As long as she see, a lot of women will tell you this honest and say, I would need a man with some money. I'm just saying it bluntly like that. Or some of them say, well, if he don't have money, I see potential in him to get money. Because the bottom line is, the reason we even considering it, because we all want a good life. Nobody wants to come here and really suffer. Nobody really wants to say, you know what, we just going to get through that together. Most of us would just rather be getting through. Nobody really wants to go through nothing financially where they have to struggle. I've never heard anybody say struggling was fun. What I have heard them say that I've learned from my struggle. I learned from my journey. But that journey costs. It's going to cost you emotionally. It's going to cost you financially. It's going to cost you physically. It's going to cost you spiritually. That journey to get ahead, that journey to have a good life, that journey to have the right mate, to have the right money, to make good decisions, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you some research. It's going to cost you some prayer. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some listening. It's going to cost you using wisdom. It's going to cost you asking the right questions. Because it costs. Everything going to cost something. But for the sake of the conversation, I'm just adding that money is part of that bottom line. And like I said, for those who are just tuning in, Mimi, Carl, I'm going to, after the second half, I'm going to go vice versa. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be thinking of a lot of money when you go in a relationship. So I told you I'm going to be the defense attorney and the prosecutor today. And as simplistic as this sounds to me sometimes, you'd be surprised a lot of people ain't figured this out. They have not figured out the money moves things, and not just that money part, but the who you move money with is just as important. Who you give your love to and connect it to, just as important. Who you combine your finances with is just as important. And so whatever you have to give, remember this. Love costs. Love costs money. And for those of you that have kids, you know love costs a lot of money. Because to love your kids, right, to give them what they need or what they want, it's going to cost you some finances. And I'm not saying that y'all don't know that already. What I'm saying is we have been made to think that's a bad thing when we think of finances on a big level when getting with somebody. We think that's a bad thing to look at somebody and say, you know what? That brother only makes $50,000 a year. I don't know if that's going to be enough for us to get to what I have in mind. And so that's why you get to know people, to see if you guys are on the same page, if that dollar amount works. Period. That's how you're going to have to do the game. And I'm telling you, don't ever be embarrassed by looking at somebody's bottom line when it comes to getting together. Ladies, I'm telling you that. Because most men don't really care how much money you make unless he has a different agenda or he trying to get over. He don't really care about a lot if a woman making $100,000 or not. Now, if she making that, that's nice, but that's not a be all and end all. Just like I know with ladies, with ladies, I know that's not a be all end all with you. What I'm saying is you have to really consider that, I think more so than a man. Because a man, even if he just was single for the rest of his life, his whole thing is going to be provide and protect. He got to feel the need that he's making his stake in the world. And if he don't have his stake and claim it, and that's a pressure that men go through, then he not going to be suitable for getting with the right woman anyway. Back in the early days, that's what marriage and money, that's why they used to match up families. You know, create dowry so they could take the money, the woman's family, and pass it to the kids and help her use it for the wedding or their future. Because families back in the old day understood that marriage and coming together with somebody is a huge financial transaction. So you should not be ashamed of. Matter of fact, if you go outside of this country and you go in some of them Arab countries, you would see how much their money appreciation way above ours in a lot of ways. You know, I know a lot of them ain't got 145 billion like Jeff. But we about to go to a commercial break. When I come back, like I said, now I'm going to go on the other side and say why you shouldn't be worried about money when coming together. So I'm going to deal with that. We about to take a break. This is the Dr. Sam Show. I'm Dr. Sam, and we'll be right back.
Brought to you by the Hit Store and More Studios. This is WQQO HD2, Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus station. Get more now at TalkRadio107.com.
President Trump has left Scotland for Helsinki, where he is to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow. California Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff says Putin is going to walk all over Trump.
She said if everybody got with someone who was doing things, there would be a whole lot of lonely losers out here.
These Russian military intelligence officers are acting on their own.
Putin intervened to help.
Facebook, we on a break. Y'all can keep chatting. I'm going to defend. I'm going to say why you definitely should marry for money. Now I get to talk about the other side.
But Mr. Trump will confront Putin about the indictments this week of 12 Russian
Yolanda, Sue,
on charges of hacking into the Clinton
how are you?
during the
Tyree's still here. Mimi's in the building.
But that's what one of the purposes of this meeting is, so the president
Tawana's in the building.
with President Putin and ask him about it.
President Trump
Grace is in the building.
he isn't expecting much from
Grace says she glad she a woman. Hard work being a man, Grace. It's business. You gotta take care of your business. That's for sure. It ain't always that easy either.
Afghanistan. U.S. and North Korean officials reportedly met today to talk about
What's up, Z-Man?
American soldiers who died in Korea during the 1950 to 1953 Korean War. The 2018 FIFA World
Tyree, go get all your money out the bank tomorrow.
2 hours now in Moscow. France is leading Croatia 2-1. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Man, I am hot. Good Lord.
We gonna crank it down some more. I don't know why.
That might just be me, man.
It's just cranking out a little bit.
Ah.
Let's jump in.
Consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.89% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to lightstream.com/discount. With average interest rates on credit card debt at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands in interest. And because Lightstream is a division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest and strongest financial institutions, you can have
Jeff turned it up.
Did he?
Yeah. It was at 69. I put it down 64.
Oh, man. Tell Jeff he fights.
Oh, man. He might turn it back up once he realizes he's going to get cold again. He just came in, though. It's hot outside. He said, you hot.
I'm studying. I'm hot. I ain't even moving. I knew something was up.
More than a dozen states that have instituted automatic voter registration.
Tyree said.
Massachusetts residents register at motor vehicle
Tyree said it's her holding her money as a backup plan.
automatically register citizens to vote.
Ain't that about a blip?
Expected to sign up an estimated 680,000 voters in Massachusetts.
I ain't had my stomach on the table. That's good.
Massachusetts Senate last week
Right here, that's good.
passed a similar version last month. And members say some differences will have to be worked out before sending it to the governor for his signature. Kathy Foster, Washington.
John Sim
Said money or the ability to provide.
World Series of Poker champion this morning in Las
making
Vegas.
some type
His
of money.
win is $8.8 million. As we noted a moment ago in the 2018 FIFA World Cup, France is leading Croatia 2-1.
Did anybody on your chat
Novak Djokovic
win
has
that
won the
Toledo
Women's
lottery?
Championship in straight sets over South
I don't think
Africa.
they're gonna admit it.
I'm Christopher Cruz.
What interest rate would you rather pay on your credit card debt? 17% or less than 6% APR? The answer is obvious, Lightstream. Because with Lightstream, you may be able to consolidate credit card debt and dramatically cut your interest rate to as low as 5.89% APR with AutoPay. Plus, radio listeners get an additional rate discount. Just go to
Like if say I see somebody and they net worth say like $10 million, I'm making up a number. Would it be wrong, like say I'm attracted to them, but marry them because they got $10 million? Is that wrong? Or let me ask you this. If is it wrong to marry somebody for $10 million versus marrying somebody because of how they look? Which one is right and which one is wrong?
I don't think
You hear that, Facebook? If you marry somebody for how they look, is that wrong versus marrying somebody that got $10 million? And which one is wrong and which one is right? Let's see if they answer that.
you can't. To me, you can't say either one is. Like, if you think one way is right, then you can't say the other one is wrong.
That's right.
I think when you say marrying somebody for money, I think it has gotten a bad reputation because you always marry somebody on somewhat a financial level. But if I look at you and say, okay, I'm gonna marry her because she worth $10 million versus this one over $1,000, is that wrong? It's the same as saying I want to marry her because she look better than her. Which one is wrong and right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'd make a good husband because he comes from a family-oriented background versus the dude that didn't come from a guy. Which one is wrong and which one is right?
Nice one. I know. Fantastic.
I'm just asking questions.
Really the best way to know an amazing
I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 10th, 11th, and 12th in downtown Toledo. The free event will include a parade, historic Jeep car show, and live entertainment. And you can enter this year's raffle for a chance to win a 24-month lease on a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport 4-door.
Tyree said both is wrong. To each his own.
And $100 for at talkradio107.com.
Got about 30 seconds.
Grace said that life sounds like a science project. It is.
Ready to help you gain perspective on life, relationships, finances, spirituality, and so much more. Go to THEDrSamSHOW.us. Brought to you by McDonald's. Empowering purpose for life.
So, what is love? Love is being independent. Love is dancing.
You said he cut that thing up to 70 or 60. Then what you say?
69. Almost
No
70.
wonder it was getting hot in here. You know, I don't never sweat hard. I don't hardly get hot.
Love is caring for a child,
He
regardless
might-
of the family's ability to pay.
Probably gonna cut it back down.
Learn how to
Once he realizes
love
we
to the rescue at lovetotherescue.org.
Tyree, you said there's evil people with what you say? People with money and looks. Yep, some people, evil people with no money and no looks. And we're back. For those of you just tuning in, this is the Dr. Sam Show, and today we are talking about if love costs, should you marry for money? And I know when you say marry for money, people instantly take that as a bad thing because they insinuate that you're a gold digger. But what I'm saying is, if somebody's worth $10 million, should you marry them for that? Because let me tell you why I asked that question. There are so many people that marry bad people or people they don't know nothing about, that they don't have a good grip on, don't have strategic thinking, and then when something blows up, then they don't say, well, you know, I was wrong for getting with that person. They'll just say it was a mistake or something bad happened. But what's the difference with that with money? The money not guaranteed. If you have it today, you can easily lose it tomorrow. That's not guaranteed. It's just a commodity that you use to have a better life. And so if somebody have more than others, there's a possibility if I'm looking at you and you looking at me, we looking at you, we bring these 100,000 together, that's 200,000. That's just math. That's just math, man. That's all it is. Versus you got 10,000, I got 10, we bring 20 together. That's just math. So that's what we was talking about before the break. And for those of you that are on the opposite side, I'm going to defend you and say why you shouldn't get with nobody because of that nasty money. Oh, man, I'm going to read a couple of things first, and then I'm going to give you my take on that. And I think I might have some time. It depends. We rolling in this about should men be turned off by independent women. I might throw that in there. We might have some time. All right, for those of you that said you should marry for money, let me just name a couple of things off. Number one, it won't solve your problems. See, I don't know if I agree with that. Because you're going to have problems, but money sure do make a love. I'm just reading off the paper. It said money won't solve problems. Now, money can't cure you. But it can sure put you in a good hospital while you're trying to figure it out. If you got money, you could ride to the hospital in style. So, number two, it might not last. I said that a minute ago. You get with somebody with money, it might not last. And then I'm glad this said that because I'm a dig in to what my honest opinion about the whole thing is. And I'm going to start from this side. You should marry for money because it could possibly trap you. Yeah, it could in a $500,000 house. Money will trap you. And let me tell y'all this. I'm going to read this and I'm going to tell you what I think about that money trap you. What's up, Brother Hall is in the building. It said money is the number one reason people stay in loveless marriages, especially if it's the reason they got into it in the first place. Most people with money want to protect their assets with ironclad prenups, so don't plan on walking away unless you plan on walking away broke. Well, let me tell you, let me just comment on this a little bit, family. First of all, the prenup was never built for your current wife. The prenup was built for your ex-wife. So if she become your ex, that's who the prenup is built for. Number two, money brings out who you really are. Period. That's what it does. It puts the spotlight on your characteristics, your morals, and your ethics. So a lot of people say, well, money made me a certain way. No, you was already a jerk. Money just put the spotlight on it. Money just brought it out. When you was committing adultery, instead of the Motel 6, you was at the Four Seasons. That's all money did, was bring out who you really are. And I want to comment, it said that a loveless marriage, especially if money was the reason you got into it. Well, let me comment on that too. There are a lot of people that got married that have no skill sets about relationships. They don't understand the 5 love languages. Actually, it's 9. I added 4. They don't understand what makes their spouse tick. They don't know how to make them happy. They don't even put the effort in to make things better. So to compare money and say if that's the reason you got into it, what if you got in a relationship and you didn't know nothing about how to make your woman happy? What if you got in a relationship and didn't know nothing about how to make your man happy? Would you say it was the money's fault then? So, number 3, am I on 3? No, 4. People with money still fight about money. So you should never get into it with money. Remember, this is the backside. I talked about why money was important. Now I'm saying why you shouldn't get in a relationship or marriage for money. People with money still fight about money. Yep, so does broke folks. Oh, man. Number 5, love is priceless. I would agree with that. But some people try to put a price on it. But in Dr. Sam's world, love is priceless. If let me tell you this, ladies, and I'm gonna then talk to the gentleman for a second. Ladies, let me tell you something about men in general. I'm gonna be the spokesperson for the World Federation of Men just for a second. If a man really loves you, there are no mountains in front of him at all. Not time, not excuses, not jobs, nothing. If a man wants you bad enough, there are no excuses. So if he broke, he gonna get something in gear. He gonna get something together. Matter of fact, he'll ask you, can you be patient with him while he get it together? Because love is priceless. That's when love is really priceless. When a man is willing to lay it all on the line to get where he wants to get and have you in his life. That's when he goes and the stakes are raised really high. Matter of fact, a man will get his relationship with God right when he wants you bad enough. That's how much power, ladies, you have. When you get a man that really wants you and love is priceless, there is nothing that will be in his way to stop him from doing what he got to take to be with you. And I'm talking about to the ones you said yes to, not a brother just trying to push up on you and all of that good stuff. So love is priceless. I agree with that. Let me see one more. I might throw one more. Let me see one more. A couple more. The reason you should never marry for money because nothing is free. Because you can't be bought. And that's right. Your heart is your heart. Most people's heart is not affected by money. Their game plan is. Their objectivity is. But when you really love somebody, when you really want to be with them, your heart is not affected by money. Actually, I just explained that, ladies, to you about men. When a man really wants to be with you, when he wants you a part of his life, it ain't about the money that's the objective to him. It's about getting in a stable position so he can do the 2 P's, protect and provide. Man, when a lady wants to be with you and the love is priceless, she'll almost lay her life down to be a part of the partnership with you. If you doing it right. You know, some men, when you dealing with ladies, and sometimes your insecurities, this problem you have with your mama, your Aunt Bessie, and all the stuff you have, if you position yourself right to the woman, there is nothing she won't do for you when it's all right. That's their laying it down for the man. It's when you put yourself in a position that they have no choice but to partner up with you because you that good. And they'll do it. Most women have no problem working with a man that got his stuff together. And I'm not talking about finances on this lady. I'm talking about when he has himself emotionally together. He has his relationship with God together. He has his being together. He know who he is. He's intelligent. He has a presence about it. He has a purpose about it. He know why he walking on the planet. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, it's not hard for a woman to get with a man like that. And let me even take a little deeper for you, men, while you're paying attention. The man that can figure her out emotionally and psychologically is going to win all the time. Because most women know it is almost impossible to find a man that understands them emotionally and psychologically. So when they find that man, you pretty much a keeper. But what's that word they use? I can't remember at the moment. Is I can't remember that word. It's when you have something for somebody and they can go get married for 10 years, get a divorce. You get married to them the next day. I can't think of that word. It'll come back up in my mind. But when you have it together, gentlemen, like that, she gonna be with you. And that's gonna be her price, her love that's priceless. Because you put yourself in a position where she felt secure and comfortable enough to give it to you. And why wouldn't she give it to you if you the man? Just like why wouldn't you give it to her if she the woman? Why wouldn't you get yourself straight if she the woman? Another reason you shouldn't get married for money, I'm just reading a couple off and throwing my own 2.5% in there, is because you can't be bought. You can't be bought. I can be taken care of, but I can't be bought. You can't be bought. Because let me tell you something. And what that means is simply this. When it's all said and done, the two people that are in a relationship they are the one that are with each other almost every day for the rest of their life. And we saying this as though you're going to be together. So once you get past the money, you get past the age, you get past the looks, you getting past the kid, you getting past all of this stuff. You couldn't be bought with the money, but you had to be sold on who you are yourself and who you with. You basically had to be sold the friend to friend, best friend to best friend in a relationship. When it's all said and done, it's really you the reason I'm here. It's not because of the money. It's not because you just fine. It's not because you a certain way. But it's because of what's inside of you. I get the privilege, the honor to live with every day. Because that's who you really living with, is who's inside of us. So men, who your woman is, that's who you really living with, is her. And ladies, you really living with him. And when you bring those two people together, man, I'm telling you, and I know people like to say it's us against the world, whatever montage you need to use it. When you have two people that totally sold out to each other, and then then in the Bible it said, when God said, when 2 or 3 together, I'm in the midst. Well, shoot, when the two of y'all are together, he already in the midst. Man, you can't have a better relationship than that. You can't have a better relationship than that. Because it's another reason you shouldn't marry for money. Because the people who feel this way are unhappy. Any married person who suggests you marry for money is unhappily married. You should feel bad for them and not take their advice. But let me back up and let me digress a little bit on both sides. Let me start from this side first. This is my own personal Dr. Sam opinion and how I feel about this whole the money and non-money thing. I think the first thing you have to do is you got to find the man or woman. You got to get with them first. You got to come across them first. Because let me tell you something. I can have all the money in the world, and I know this might sound a little cliche, but if I'm not who I want to be with, if you're not the love of my life, if you're not the one that I'm supposed to and I'm going to live the rest of my life or however I want to play it out, all of the money in the world ain't going to make me feel like you do. I'm just telling you the honest God truth, lady. Most men, I'm talking about the brothers that's handling their business, that got a clue, got a relationship, to understand some things. I don't care at what stage they get in life, where they could be famous singers, they could be billionaires, they could be everything they ever had material-wise. If you don't have the woman of your dreams involved in that with you and God, it just still is not enough. I'm a firm believer. I want the woman of my dream. Because let me tell you something. On both sides, if you find the woman of your dream and you don't have anything as a man, it's going to make you want to get your stuff together. So that's a win for the man, and that's a win for the woman if she say yes. If he already got it together, he's going to want to get it together even more because he in love. I would go with the love is priceless first. But for us, man, love do have a certain price, because if we can't protect and provide, when we really love you, we're not going to come to you until we can get that in position. So that's the price for us. But because we love you so much, that's the priceless. That's the priceless part of it. We love you so much that we'll stop what we doing to make the adjustment to do and be who we are just so we can be with you. And man, let me tell you, oh, wait a minute, I ain't done with my thing. So the love, then number two, after the love, I'm going to get myself together if I don't have myself together, because I want to be with you. And then after I get myself together, I want to bring you into something that not only you always wanted, and not only I always wanted, but we want together. We want to accomplish together. Some material things we want to have together. Some love we want to share together. Some thoughts we want to share together. That's where the money starts coming in. When the material, when I have the connection spiritually, when we have the connection physically, when we have the connection mentally, now I got to bring the financial, because now it's going to assist us in reaching goals and having some purpose and what to do with that purpose. If we want to help feed millions of kids, or we want to buy people houses, or we want to donate to charity, or whatever we want to do, that's where the finances come. Or I just want to pay for my kids' college education, or I just want to buy them a college, whatever that is. Because you know Jeff could buy a college right now at $145 billion. For those of you that hear me say earlier, our millionaire, featured millionaire today was Jeff Bezos. He's the largest stockholder at Amazon. And at this moment today, Jeff is worth $145.1 billion. He's the richest man in the world. The second richest is Bill Gates at 95. When was the day that you ever thought you'd see Bill Gates $50 billion behind another man? So, for my opinion, it starts from the unconditional love. It starts from me finding who I want to be with, then making it happen from there. If I get the money first, that'll be fine. But I think once we rich, like all of you were talking about celebrities and stuff, when you get money, you a little more apprehensive, because now you got to really know what questions to ask, what actions to look through, of who's doing what and what's their motive for even being in your life. Because people do have motives and agenda. But for Dr. Sam, it comes with the love first. Then if I don't have it together, getting it together, then once I get it together, if you allow me, then I'll make sure we got it together. Because I got to get it together before we can get it together. When I get it together, we get it together. Now, ladies, I'm about to talk to the men about what you should be looking for in a lady. But ladies, I'm talking to you about men that really love you. You want to marry a man that ain't in it for the money. You want the right money. Look at what his heart is doing. And if his heart and words have matched up with each other, oh, you got a champion on that one. Y'all should be putting them little what's them little finger thumbs up like things. You know, I like Mimi. Know I like those like things. And so when you find that, thank you. When you have a man that's in love, if he don't have it together, number 2, he'll get it together. Once he get his stuff together, number 3, he'll get y'all stuff together. Then number 4, after he done got y'all stuff together, now y'all pursue dreams and goals and what's y'all purpose together. That's what a man is looking for. That's when you're an embodiment of the money and not the money. Because you got to, technically, to be honest, you got to cover all of it. I can get with a woman and not have no money, but I better have a plan to get some financial stability. I can get with a woman and already have money, but I still got to go back and prove out the love. Then I got to make sure I'm right. If I got the money right, then I need to make sure my head is right, my emotions are right, my relationship with God is right, my spirit is right, my head is right. So either you're going to start from the emotion, you're going to start from the spiritual, you're going to start from the intellectual and then finances, or you're going to have finances and then go back to the emotional, the spiritual, the intellectual. My point and purpose of saying this is it all has to come together regardless. And this is what I'm saying, men. I'm talking to ladies about the man. From a man, it got to come together regardless. Now let me flip this for a minute and talk to the men. Now, man, when you come across a woman that let's deal with the ones that don't have money. And like I said earlier, most men are really not concerned about how much money a woman makes. What he's concerned about is how, not necessarily this order. Number 1 is how can she help him complete his reason for being born on the planet. Number 2, if she going to be a good mother to his kids. And 3, she going to be a good wife. And number 4, what does she has going on for herself that's going to help her be better for herself? Because, man, let me tell you something about it. If you don't see a woman that is in self-development, progressively developing for herself, you don't want to be with her. I'm saying it flat out. You don't want to be with a woman that is not progressively making it on her own. And what I mean by that, she's developing as a human being. She's developing as a woman. She's developing as a scholar, of a woman of wisdom, whatever that is. You don't want to be with a woman that is not progressively developing. You know why, man? Because if you don't get a woman that's growing on her own, when you get with her, she just going to suck the energy out of you. That's just the honest to God truth. If you don't have it, that goes both ways. But I ain't talking to. I just did the men, talking to the men for the women. Now I'm talking to the women for the men. Is that she's gonna suck the life out of you if she's not progressively growing for herself. Because I know I know it sounds good when we say I want to do this for my kids, or I want to do this for my husband, I want to do this for my mom and my dad. That's only going to be temporarily. Ain't that right, Mama? Because I know my mother listening on the phone. I got Mr. D over here. Ultimately, you got to do for yourself first, man. And I'm telling you, you got to have a woman that's doing stuff for herself first. Because that's what makes her strong. That's what makes her powerful. That's what makes her a great team player. That's what makes her love you. That's what makes her carry you. That's what makes her encourage you. That's what makes her have the ability to get on your case when you ain't doing right. Because she love you that much, because she put the same standards on herself. You don't want a woman that don't have standards on herself. Y'all can't build nothing together. When you building a family, building a business, building a ministry, you can't build nothing with a woman that is not investing in herself. Number 2, men. You got to get you a woman that love you enough to tell you the truth. And you got to shut up and listen. I'm talking about the good women. I'm not talking about the nagging ones. I'm talking about the one that tell you the truth because they love you and not scared to lose you over it. You got to get a woman that's willing to tell you the truth. Because let me tell you about women and let me tell you, men, if you're listening, and you can make the checks out to Dr. Sam. I ain't say Mr. D, I said Dr. Sam. Any woman that's willing to tell you the truth in love, She gonna be down for you for everything y'all need to do together. Now notice, I didn't say she was down for everything, because should no woman be down for no stupidity, for no man. If this dude out blowing his checks at the racetrack, she said, baby, I support you, and I'm just gonna walk with you over this till you get over this habit. No, smack him in the back of his head and say, man, what you doing? You can't be burning all our checks on the racetrack. Any woman that's willing to tell you the truth and love, she's going to be the one that's most committed to the partnership. Because she understands this is a team game. And sometimes the man is the coach and coaching his wife, and sometimes she coaching him. Y'all know your strengths and weaknesses. You got to get a woman that's not as afraid to stand up to the plate and deal with you, my brothers. I'm talking about a good woman. This is what you want to roll with. Why you shouldn't marry for money. This is why you shouldn't marry for money part, if y'all forgot. This is why you should marry for money part. Mr. D, I think I'm going to take a quick commercial break right quick. Because I got to take a drink of this sweet tea for our wonderful sponsor, the McDonald's Corporation. And I want to say this while I'm talking about that. For any of you that want to partner with the Dr. Sam Show, we offering partnerships or sponsorship. I like to say partnership because we a family. McDonald's made us a family. We family. We all family. You want to get involved in what we doing and where we going as far as the radio, television, print, the whole 9 yards. The number is 419-972-1SAM. But we about to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I think I'm going to talk about this a little more, and then I think I might just tap the other subject. This is the Dr. Sam Show. We'll be right back. Great, she got to share all her ice cream. Oh.
Thanks, dear.
Daddy?
Let me see, I got all that.
Yeah, Mikey.
Are you going to the hospital again for a heart attack?
No, son. That medication from a fake online pharmacy sent me to the hospital.
He said a fake
online.
Watch the fake online pharmacy.
This dude said a fake online pharmacy. They making those?
They trying to do that Amazon thing.
Okay.
Okay, Daddy.
Tyree, I got water and sweet tea. Actually, this has got water in it. I'm glad you're concerned about my health. I'm trying to think. I'll ask you, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook. Do you think I got some more to say about this subject, or I can tap the back end of my other subjects? Should men be turned off by independent women? Which one you think I should go on and do? She said too much sugar. I ain't think about a blip.
Safe, effective, even life-saving. Just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have
What's up, Quita's in the building?
and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or
Tyree, you still in the building?
visit FDA.gov/generic drugs. Generic
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. D is still in the building.
You'll like the sound of that.
You back at 40.
Mr. Hall is in the building. Miss Vonnie is in the building. Monique is in the building. Trina is in the building. Carl in the building. I can't get Tyree out the building. Renee is in the building. Maurice is in the building. Grace is still in
Dr.
the
Sam
building.
Millett is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam is ready to help you gain perspective on life, relationships, finances, spirituality, and so much more. Go to
Tyrese, when you coming to Toledo?
DrSamSHOW.us.
I know you
Brought
don't
to you by
leave
McDonald's. Empowering
great
purpose
city of
for
Detroit
life.
that often.
We don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer. For only love can
Oh yeah, we back. This is the Dr. Sam Show. I'm Dr. Sam. We all got to find a way. Bring some love in here today. That's Brother Marvin Gaye telling you that. That brother ain't never lied today. But we talking about if love calls, should you marry for money? And I think I'm going to finish that up. Tyree said she fell asleep. Oh, she's so crazy. I think I'm going to finish that up 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to do a little bit of back end on should men be turned off by independent women. I'd asked this question on Facebook last week, and I got a lot of response. So I'll throw it up on the show today. And then after that, we'll do Dr. Sam's Secret Garden Tip of the Week, and we'll go on from there. So I was finished closing and talking about, in my own personal opinion, love is priceless. And when you find somebody you love, if you don't have the money together, get yourself together and then go get the woman while you getting the money. I'm talking about from the man's perspective. And then that man goes on, and you and him, the man and the woman, go on and fulfill their dreams that they had as individuals, and then they fill their dream together. And you keep moving forward. That's my own personal thing. For those of you that think we look at money, of course we look at money. Men are always going to look at money. And also, we always trying to figure out if anybody trying to take the money we have. Hello, Sheila. Sheila's in the building. I left off also telling the men that when you're looking for a woman, you got to get a woman that's a team player. You know, it depends on where you at in your life is what team they playing on. And you got to be very careful, because somebody, like you guys was chatting about celebrities. When you celebrities, for the most part, got to really be on guard, because everybody has an agenda. And I don't mind you having an agenda as long as it's an agenda we could work together, but you got your own agenda outside of me, and you trying to take my money and my time with you, oh, then we're going to have a problem, because that's not teamwork. So, always know that love is priceless. Know you want to get yourself together to each other, for yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and then to each other. And then number 3 and 4, know that finances is going to help facilitate how good that love is. Have y'all ever had some, let me say this last thing. Have y'all ever did some love? And yet when you had some money, the love is a little different than when you're broke. Y'all ever had broke love? Let me tell you something, lady. Men can't even have sex right when they broke. They can have it, but it ain't right. Because we got to get our stuff together. You got to do it together. You got to bring it on together. So you got to be careful. Be careful. Be careful who you with. Be careful where you're going. Be careful with who you engage. And know that emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything together, you got to make it work. So take your time and know that money's going to be involved. Whether y'all got bad taste in your mouths about money, whether money is good, money is going to be in the game plan. And money means something different to us men versus you women. And it depends on where your status at, then that money is going to definitely be different. You don't think, Jeff, and for those of you that just tuning on, Brother KC, who I got else? I said Sheila, she's up in the house. Jeff Bezos, he was my billionaire, featured billionaire of the week. Jeff Bezos is the largest stockholder in Amazon. As of the day, Jeff was worth $145.1 billion. Did I say billion, Mr. D? Billion with a capital B. The second closest to him is Bill Gates in 95. Like I said a minute ago, whoever thought with Bill Gates would be 50 billion behind anybody. Well, I said that to say that you think people ain't coming after Jeff? Friends he didn't want, friends he don't know, family members that showed up trying to get what he want because they want just money. It ain't Jeff that they want, it's the money. But it's not the money's fault. Money is neither good nor evil. Money is only puts the spotlight on whoever you are. So if you using money for evil, that's your evilness. It ain't the money's fault. If you using money for goodness, it ain't the money's fault. Money is neither good nor evil. Money only does what it's told. That's all it does. So, all right, that was my final thoughts on if love costs. If love costs, would you marry for money? I think in all of us somewhere we marry for money. When I say marry for money, I don't mean just money. I think everything has to come together. Some people start off with money, some people don't. So either way, we got to get ourselves together. And the one you're going to be with, you know, they got to love you, period, and know who you are and who they with, whether you're broke or you got a ton of money. Because when it's all said and done, girl, it's only me and you in the room looking at each other. And we going to laugh if we broke. We going to laugh we got money. But what's inside of you is who I'm really at. Everything else is a side is a side add or a side subtraction. So, all right, I'm going to do, let me see, I got about 20 minutes. We're going to start now. I ain't even going to take commercial. Oh, you know what? I should have did the phone number. If you want to call me, the number is 866-720-1470. Also in the conversation and on the chat. Or you could chat line with us, Facebook Live, under the Dr. Sam Show. I got a ton of chats. Everybody take chats and stuff like that. And Leanne. And so here's my next one. I asked this question on Facebook last week, and I got a lot of people that wanted to Aaron said, if you having sex broke, you stealing it. Oh, man, that's probably... I'll come back to that. But you are kind of stealing. I would agree with that. But this question I had on Facebook last week, got a lot of comments back and forth. And the question was, should men be turned off by independent women? Now, most of the women that answer that, you know the women was going to answer that question, even though it kind of was, towards the men. The women going to always answer first, and that's fine. Keep on answering. Miss Cher's in the building. Vonda's in the building. But ladies, let me tell you about this. And you can call in 866-720-1470, or you can chat. Let me tell you about independent. I'm going to give you the short version. I'm going to give you the summary. Most men, and I always have to say most, because there's always one nut in the group. Most men do not need an independent woman in the partnership. Like when we together, we going out to dinner, we sitting at the table, we managing the kids, we managing the house, we traveling together. I don't need you to be independent. When I do need you to be independent is when you out in the world by yourself and I'm not next to you. I need you to be independent enough to be able to handle yourself. That's when men need independent women. It's when we're not in your physical company. I need men to respect you at the level that they respect me. I need women to respect you at the level they respect me. So any man would tell you that I need you to be the independent when you out in the world by yourself, at the job, at church if I don't come that day, at the grocery store. I need you to be independent. Now, most of the time, when I hear a woman say I'm independent, this is just Dr. Sam's personal opinion with love. Nobody seems to care but that woman. Nobody cares you independent. I hear women say I'm independent. Do you ever hear men going around talking about I'm independent? Nobody cares but you. And if you overemphasize your independence over teamwork, you gonna be independent for a long time. You gonna be independent for a long time. Did I hear for you women that might be independent for a long time? Just remember this word: meow. Just remember that. Just remember that you're gonna have 60 cats in a room that only holds 30. Because don't no real man need an independent woman except when she walking alone. When she got to act together, when she dressed up, she looking sexy, she got to walk on. Girl, I need you to be so independent that it's a force field around you because they don't want to touch you because you that cold-blooded. But when we together, your independence better not show up. The only time I need another human being to be independent around me when we're in the same room, if you not my woman or you a man, I don't need my woman to be independent when we get. Just like as a man, I'm not going to be independent while we together. We're going to be team players. Going to be Team Sam. That's a bad team right there, boy. Don't get it twisted, Mr. D. What, you taking notes over there, Mr. D? Boy, you better be taking notes. It's Team Sam. Not Sam and Cher, Sonny and Cher, Bonnie and Clyde. So ladies, so men, while you chatting on the line, and the number is 866-720-1470 for those of you that are brave enough to call in. Are we turned off by independent women? Let me look. Tyree said, shut up. Mr. D, are you turned off by independent women? Yes? He said no. Mr. D said he wanted more independent. You know, Mr. D is into that, you know, that domination type. You know, that's probably why you want you.
She with me, she ain't independent.
Mr. D said if you hanging out with him, you not independent. What you are? You in a partnership?
No, I ain't.
The funny thing is when you ask questions like this, man, it was a great question. It was funny. All the women responded first. Where it should be nothing wrong with an independent woman. Yes, it's not. Just not long as you standing with me in the same space. You know how crazy that look. Hey, look here, dude. Girl, I know we together, but you be independent. You know how crazy that is? The dude, the woman say, hey, Bob, we be together, but dude, you be independent. You know how crazy that sounds? When you got Team Sam, you got Team D, Team Carl, Team Aaron. You got all these teams, Team KC. You know how crazy that is to say you independent? And did I use the word meow again? Oh, man. So, ladies, for most men, to a degree, it's a turnoff. If you, the turnoff with most men, and they can say yes or nay, yes or no, yay or nay, is not you being independent, but you being these two things. Either too independent or independent at the wrong time. See, you ever been in a situation where somebody did something? Yeah, Mary, I did the meow. You ever did something and the man is right there, y'all, but say y'all get bad service, or somebody say something wrong to y'all in a restaurant, and your server seem like disrespect you. That is not the time for y'all to be independent. Y'all have to have a spokesperson. Now, if it's going to be the woman, she could be the spokesperson. If it's going to be the man, he's going to be the spokesperson. But whoever the spokesperson is for that bad service is representing the team. You can't go off and have a fit on your own. You can't go off and have a fit on your own. Because if you do, guess what? Now I'm going to have to marry you for money. Because if I'm going to go down, I might as well have some dough with me. So most men love team work and women that know how to play team. I know a lot of times women say or will say, I'm a ride or die chick. That means I'm down for whatever. I got your back. Man, do you really want a woman that's down for you for anything, even your stupidity? Do you want a woman that's committed to you playing video games every day and not getting a job? Do you want a woman that's so down for you that if he don't wash his butt for 3 days, you say, I endorse that? I don't think you want a woman like that. Yeah, I want you to be down with me, but I remember I said earlier, I want you to love me enough to tell me the truth. Them the most down when the women is willing to tell you the truth because they'll get in the trenches with you because they love you. But I don't know if I want to ride or die. You just going to be down for anything I do. I don't know if I want that. But I love a woman that's independent where she can handle herself when she by herself. I do love that. But when we come together, we both have to give in. Both are independent and give in the teamwork. I'm extremely independent. And my thoughts, the way I go about stuff, what I think, what I say. Matter of fact, y'all know that because I'm putting myself on the line out here in the media every day. Radio, television, print, every day. When you put yourself out here like this, you potentially a target every day. So it's okay to be independent, but I think on men and women's side, you got to know when to bring that in. Because men, we not with around our woman, we got to be independent men. We got to be independent men when we with our women. We're not around her. When we get with her, we got to become a team player. Ain't no sense no woman having no independent man and she standing right next to you. You know? But I tell you, women will get independent on it. They really team player when that bill comes to the table, when y'all out to dinner. When y'all out to dinner, you gonna pay for that? I'm just messing with y'all because I'm having fun. But I just want to go over. We coming down, and I appreciate all the comments. And as a matter of fact, I want to respond to this from my friend Grace. She's always a big supporter of the show. She said she just like godly order. And Grace, I get what you're saying, but you gotta have some godly people to pull off the order. Matter of fact, no, let me back up. Sometimes people that the least godly pull off the order. They pull off the order. It's a lot of times the godly folks, the ones that don't pull off the order. It be the folks that don't have the godly principle that actually have the order. That's a lot of times why they successful. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna have to make a thing. Tyree, I don't think we're gonna take your call. But I just wanted to sum up, and we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm gonna have Dr. Sam's Secret Garden tip of the week. But I just want to sum up what we talked about the show. The main title we was talking about first. If love costs, should you marry for money? And like I said, to sum it up from Dr. Sam thing, there's nothing wrong with somebody having money, of course, because we needed to live. I'm not talking about that part, but that is part of it. But if somebody happened to have a lot of money and you marry for money, to me, a lot of times, it's just as bad if you jump in a relationship and you have no clue of what questions to ask. You don't have a clue about your partner. You don't know what to look for in a man or a woman. It's just as bad. It's jumping in something with somebody with no money and not knowing the opposite. If you're gonna get with a person that don't have money, you need to know about them to see if they have the potential to get structured, to get stable. Somebody you want to build something with. You want to buy a house. You want to have kids. You want to live on. You want to do all of these things and have your purpose and goals met. But for me, it starts from the love. The love is priceless. This is talking about Dr. Sam. Number 2, it'll make a man get his stuff together for himself first. 3, then he'll get it together for the both of y'all. Then number 4, now he can move you into the directions where as Team Sam is going to move to, where we're going to go together. I think that's the best thing you could do at the cost of love, and doing love at a cost, is you got to combine the effort. You got to combine the emotion, the intelligence, the spiritual, the natural, the sexual, all of that. When you come together as husband, all of that, you got to combine all of that, and you got to move forward. You got to move forward. And I'm going to say this for you ladies, because most men, we don't really look. I said this a couple of times. I repeat myself on purpose a lot of times so it can subconsciously get in your subconscious mind. So 3 hours from now, you listening to this is going to pop up in your head. Most men do not look at women for money. We look at the potential they have, number 1, to help us get to where we're going. Number 2, whether it be a good wife, a good mother, his kid, not necessarily this order. Number 3, are they progressively developing in their own life? Because like I said earlier, if a man runs into a woman that is not progressively moving herself forward, he don't want to get with a woman like that. And the flip side of it, ladies, if you don't have a man that is trying to stabilize himself or has the ability to protect and provide, then you really don't want to be with that brother, because it's not too much he can do for you. He has to be doing something for himself, because in the man landscape of things, we keeping a scorecard. We keep scorecards on ourselves and each other. You want to know why that car means so this different? I got the Volkswagen and he got the Bentley, because we keep the score. That don't mean one is better than the other as far as the male, but that's how we keep scorecard. It's the competition, and it's the way God made us, the pursuers, the chasers. That's why we go after stuff. We do stuff. We position our stuff, because that's who we are. That's who we made of. So we keep score. All right, we about to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we're going to have Dr. Sam's Secret Guard tip of the week. Y'all know that's Mr. D's favorite time of the song because he get to, or part of the show because he get to play the song. This is the Dr. Sam Show, and we'll be right back.
Talk Radio 100.7 and the Toledo Express Airport have another awesome flyaway for you. It's Talk Radio 100.7 Summer Vacation Getaway. The grand prize is 2 round-trip tickets to Charlotte, North Carolina out of Toledo Express Airport. To qualify, head on over to the website talkradio107.com and register. You can register once per day to up your chances of winning.
You said what?
Good luck from the Toledo County Port Authority, American Airlines, the Toledo Express Airport,
Mr.
and
D,
Toledo
man.
Talk Radio 100.7.
Facebook family, we coming to the end of the show. Got a few minutes.
Relive
We'll do that Dr. Sam Secret Guard tip of the week.
Honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Trying to get my stomach down so it don't lean up on the tape.
is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam is ready to help you gain perspective.
What's up, Bruce? That's my cousin.
Finances,
It's in the building.
and much more. Tune into 100.7 every Sunday from 11 to 1. Brought to you by McDonald's. Empowering.
What's up, Tina? She's in the building. Fire coming up. Oh, what's my tip of the week? Oh, okay, and we're back. You know, when you hear Secret Garden, you know what time it is. It is Dr. Sam Secret Garden tip of the week. And I'm kind of going to stay right in this lane that I'm in right now. In Vegas, here we come. Is that when it comes down to anything pertaining a relationship, whether it's your emotional well-being, whether it's your financial success, whether it's mentally being there, the most important thing you want to do first before you engage anybody is get yourself together. Because nobody can make you happy first. That's something between you and God that has to be established first. Because let me tell you, if you don't have your personal stuff together, I'm talking about from the inside out, all you are is joining somebody else to make a train wreck happen. And so I encourage you today to get yourself together. This topic today was wonderful. We was talking about money and should you pick, look, some people going to marry people for money. I ain't mad at them because money, you need it. It ain't guaranteed. Just like some people marry people because they broke. I don't see the difference. We have our own thing and our own way of doing it. But what we do have a choice in is our heart, how we treat people, how we love people, how we understand. And I think no matter whether you have money or not, if you don't understand that, that's where you really missing it at. If you don't understand what makes her happy, how to put a smile on her face, you don't understand what makes him tick. Or you don't know what right questions to ask, what questions to don't ask, when to encourage, when to get on, when to motivate, when to shut up. I think if you don't know these things, that's when you're doing yourself a disservice. So I will encourage you to get yourself together. And then when you get with somebody, y'all get together, then y'all making the money and doing all that stuff, like I said early, together. All right, so that's my Dr. Sam Secret tip of the day. Oh, man, I'm telling you, this is a great show. Thanks for the hand claps, Mr. D. For y'all on Facebook Live, you can't hear the face, hand claps. And Tyree, get your 2 sweet teas and a chocolate cake next week when you come back to the show. But I want to tell you, next week to tune into the Dr. Sam Show at 11. We start around 11:15, actually, because we have to do the transfer from the show that's before mine to this one. And check out the show from 11 to 1. Sometimes we go over. We're going to have some great things next week. I got my beauty and wellness expert in next week. It's Delanita Ash. Go to the website, thedrsamshow.us. Also, check me out on Facebook Live like you're doing now. Got the peace signs up. Also, check me out in the Toledo Journal under the Ask Dr. Sam advice column, where I'm giving you prescriptions for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. Check me out. We about to do the first production of season 2 on the Dr. Sam television show. I got my brothers we was doing a TV in Detroit. Now we doing it in Akron, but they coming down to be my production team. I'm very happy about that because they're extremely professional, good, love all them brothers. They like family. We're going to be rolling. So the first show is going to be up. It's going to be good. Also, I want to tell you that check out this show. We're going to start putting them on YouTube. I'll post this right on Facebook Live as soon as we're done with the show. But go to YouTube by 12 noon tomorrow. This will be up on the YouTube channel, the Dr. Sam Show channel. And also, last but not least, I want to thank our great partner, the McDonald's Corporation, for being family. It's like being family with McDonald's. We appreciate all that you do and who you're a part of us. And like I said before, if you want to become a part of the Dr. Sam Show, the number is 419-972-1SAM, or that's 1726. To be a partner, you can roll with us at McDonald's. We're doing some things. We got some stuff coming up, man. We're going to make this show even better. Check me out in print. Check me out in radio. Check me out on television. I got some even more stuff I'll tell you later coming down the pipe. Well, it's just myself today, man, and my man, Mr. D, ladies, is in the building. My extraordinary producer, engineer, and we're out of here. I want to tell you I love you, and remember this, always tell somebody you love them, because you never know when you may ever see them again. I love you, and I hope to see you next week. Peace. Facebook Live, man, I really enjoyed you guys. And you can keep conversating in a minute here. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through and I'm going to dialogue with all of y'all. I appreciate you for tuning into the show. I really like this subject. I know it's a bunch of ways to come in money, but just remember, man, this is your life. You got to pay attention who you with. And the best way to do that is know who God is, know who you are, so you will have a good assessment situation where you know how to assess people and what they are there or they're not, or why they are there and what they are not there for. So I want to tell you this for my man, Mr. D, my extraordinary engineer producer. Remember, me and Mr. D are going to do the Silk Smoking Jacket show. We still got that on. But we're going to come with a smoking jacket in honor of his great uncle, Hugh Hefner. We're going to do the smoking jacket interview. But I want to tell you this, always remember to tell somebody you love them, because you never know when you may ever see them again. I love you. You're the greatest people in the world. Peace. I will see you next week. Wait till you see what I got for you next week. Peace out. Now I got to go around and cut it off.